Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our program will begin shortly. Kindly take your seats. Thank you. Thank you for joining us as Dr. Darrell J. Pines is officially installed as president of the University of Maryland, College Park. This event is being live streamed to a virtual audience. Please silence all electronic devices now. Please take notice of the nearest exit from the venue in case of emergency. Our program will begin momentarily. Thank you.
Every community owes its existence and strength to the generations before them, around the world, who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy into making the history that led to this moment. Truth and acknowledgement are critical in building mutual respect and connections across all barriers of heritage and difference. So, we acknowledge the truth that is often buried. We are on the ancestral lands of the Piscataway people, who are the ancestral stewards of this sacred land. It is their historical responsibility to advocate for the four-legged, the winged, those that crawl, and those that swim. They remind us that clean air and pristine waterways are essential to all life. This land acknowledgement is a vocal reminder for each of us as two-leggeds to ensure our physical environment is in the better condition than what we inherited, for the health and prosperity of future generations. We also acknowledge that throughout our history, our university has not always lived up to our ideals of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to building and celebrating a multicultural community. Today, as we officially inaugurate our university's second Black president, Please take a moment to consider these many legacies of bias, prejudice, violence, and settlement that bring us here today.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the investiture of Darrell J. Pines as the 34th president of the University of Maryland. My name is Eun Yang. I'm an anchor at NBC4 in Washington, D.C., and a very proud graduate of the University of Maryland, Philip Merrill College of Journalism. I'm thrilled to be here today. Anyone who watches my morning newscast knows how much I love the University of Maryland. Many of my most formative years were spent right here on campus. I was inside the journalism building when I found out about the internship which would change my life and would launch my career in broadcast journalism. The man who selected me for that news internship was at the CBS station here in Washington, D.C. That was more than 20 years ago, and he became a dear friend and mentor to me. His name was Chris Houston. And I remember that interview process so clearly. This was back in the day, so all of the student applicants were on one side of this huge conference room, and the interviewers from the station were on the other side, and we just have to wait until our name was called. And like any budding good journalist, I sat there and I surveyed the room, I took some mental notes, sized up the competition, and finally, when Chris called my name, I felt I was ready. And he asked me this one particular question. He said, "What will you bring to the station?" And this is how I remember replying. I said, "I would be a valuable asset in addition to the station because I am the only Asian American person applying for this position." It was true, and it worked. And I received that internship, and the rest is history, as they say. But I'm happy to report that since then, many more Asian Americans have applied for similar positions in broadcast journalism across the country, and it's still important to have diverse voices, as we saw in that video, in media, of course, and in other fields, and that's why this is one of the reasons today is such an important day. My dear friend Chris died too early, too young, from pancreatic cancer, but his wife established the K. Christopher Houston Scholarship Fund to support students in the broadcast program at the Philip Merrill College of Journalism. And Chris's legacy lives on in someone like me and in the other lives he's touched through the scholarship and through his life here on Earth. So I thank Chris, and I thank the University of Maryland for making my dreams come true. Oh, thank you. Today, we gather in the beautiful Deckelbaum Concert Hall in the Clarice Smith Performing Arts Center. For over a year now, the theaters in the Clarice have been mostly empty, as you know, as we've all battled against the COVID-19 pandemic. It's nice to be here. It's nice to see you all. It's nice to be around people as we get vaccinated and we still social distance and wear our masks. We just want to let you know that except for a small number of family speakers and guests here today, this morning's event is virtual, as we've said. And for those of us here in attendance, we have already been tested. We are going through these physical distancing protocols. And while we're not on stage, we will be wearing masks, of course. And it is our hope that someday soon we'll all be able to welcome you back into the Clarice and other places throughout this wonderful campus to enjoy the university live and in person as it was meant to be enjoyed. But until then, let's all stay safe. So let's now begin today's program. To deliver the official invocation, please welcome from St. John's Baptist Church, Dr. Pines' family church, Dr. Pines' family church for many years too, Reverend Robert Turner.
Let us pray. Oh God, we thank you for this opportunity to celebrate this new beginning called the inauguration of the 34th president of the University of Maryland. We thank you for the rich history of this university and for preparing Dr. Darrell Pines for this moment in history as he officially assumes his new role as president. We thank you for the Pines family, for the gifts that you have given them, and for Dr. Pine's commitment to leading with vision, excellence, and integrity. Now we ask, O God, that you might bless this inauguration, its participants, and all who are present, both virtually and in person. Bless Dr. Pines and his wife, Sylvia. Bless them with continued wisdom, faith, and good health. And we pray that under his tenure, this university will continue to celebrate what was, cultivate what can be, and have faith in what will be. It is in the name of our Creator we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Turner. The installation of new president at the University of Maryland is a historic occasion, and so many people wish they could be here in person today to experience this moment. But in lieu of that, we are pleased to share with President Pines and you in the audience and you out there some special video messages. We want to begin with the chair of the committee to inaugurate the president and the vice president of university relations, Mr. Brody Remington.
On behalf of the committee to inaugurate the president, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this historic occasion, marking the installation of Darrell J. Pines as the 34th president of the University of Maryland, and celebrating our wonderful university as a preeminent institution of learning, research, and service. Our committee is composed of esteemed members from across the campus, alumni, public officials, and representatives of the larger community. We are a diverse group united by a commitment to excellence in all Maryland does and service to our state, nation, and world. With thoughtful reflection, dialogue, and creativity, the committee designed multiple inauguration events highlighting President Pines' leadership and vision and the university's plans for addressing society's grand challenges. We are delighted to have you join us today. We are energized by Dr. Pines' leadership and a future full of promise for advancing the well-being of humankind.
Dr. Pines, congratulations on your installation as the 34th president of our great state's flagship higher education institution. This has been an incredibly trying year for our state and for our entire nation. But with President Pines at the helm, the University of Maryland has remained a shining example of what can be accomplished with innovative and collaborative leadership and the crowning jewel of Maryland's world-renowned network of colleges and universities. Congratulations, and I wish you all the best.
I am so very pleased to join you in honoring our new president. He is my friend and a person for whom I have deep respect. Dr. Pines is an alumnus and is a representative of Maryland's 5th Congressional District, in which the University of Maryland at College Park is located. I am honored to join in congratulating you on your inauguration as the 34th president of the University of Maryland at College Park. Dr. Pines, you are the 7th president with whom I've had the honor of working. And of course, Dr. Elkins was president when I was an undergrad. Your selection last year as president represents the latest iteration in a long and storied career at the university that has spanned more than a quarter of a century. As a longtime member of the faculty, as chair of the Department of Aerospace Engineering, and as dean of the Clark School of Engineering, you have given so much in service to this wonderful institution. Now, as its president, you lead a world-class research university and its community of scholars, students, and staff in carrying out the mission of expanding our knowledge of the world, as well as imparting that knowledge to future generations. Like you, I believe that the University of Maryland at College Park is the crown jewel in our nation's collection of public research universities. It brings great credit to our state and to our country. And in the past year, under your leadership, it has continued to flourish and grow even under the difficult conditions of a global pandemic. I thank you. I thank you for taking on this position at a time of such great challenge. I look forward to continue to work closely with you and with your leadership team to ensure that the University of Maryland College Park can continue to enjoy strong support from the federal government in its research programs, its applied science projects, and its efforts to expand access to the highest quality education to students in our state and in our country. Congratulations, Mr. President. You will do and are doing an extraordinarily outstanding job. God bless.
Dr. Pines, I remember speaking to you on your first day as University of Maryland president, and I remain energized by what you have accomplished in almost a year in this position, one of the most challenging seen by any university president as we confront the COVID-19 pandemic head on. I have every confidence that President Pine's presidency will be marked by much more than this exemplary leadership during this challenging time. His advocacy for the student experience, inclusion, and diversity, and advancement for the university on all fronts has been a top priority since before his first day in this role. Those who are here now, those who have come before, and those who have yet to come to Maryland will benefit from the vision he has for the university and the entire state of Maryland. President Pines, I look forward to continuing to see this vision come to fruition and to have the opportunity to build on it with you.
President Pines' exemplary leadership at the state of Maryland's flagship university, currently as president, but throughout his career, has not gone unseen by students, colleagues, and friends. The same is most certainly true of my legislative colleagues and University of Maryland alumni. His true commitment to excellence has been evident since joining the faculty at Maryland in 1995 and continued through his 11 years as Dean of the A. James Clark School of Engineering. President Pines, I thank you for your commitment to serving this state, but more importantly, service to humanity. From the COVID-19 pandemic and climate change to voter access and the social unrest in our country, you have already made great strides toward highlighting and finding solutions to what you call the grand challenges of our time. I am confident that this work has only just begun. I look forward to what else we will accomplish with you at the helm of this great institution. Congratulations, President Pines, on this momentous day for you, the University of Maryland, and our entire state of Maryland.
As you heard from our distinguished guest, President Pines has been a part of this campus community for over 25 years. And throughout his tenure as professor, department chair, dean, and now president, he has been a champion of faculty, staff, and students. And we are about to hear from all three, but first, a very special video. Today, President Pines joins a proud lineup of University of Maryland presidents and all four living former presidents, Presidents Slaughter, Kerwin, Moat, and Lowe, united to officially welcome their colleague to this important role of service.
The story of the University of Maryland began in 1856.
When the tiny Maryland Agricultural College was carved out along a dirt road now called Baltimore Avenue.
The college began with just 34 students. Shortly after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Morrill Act, the school became a land-grant college and began studies in agriculture, engineering, and military training.
The campus was devastated by the Great Fire of 1912, destroyed student barracks, most of the academic buildings, and most of the records of the university as well.
Some believed we will never reopen, but the students returned, and the campus was rebuilt.
The fearless spirit we saw then endures to this day.
In 1988, the University of Maryland was designated as the flagship campus of the university system of Maryland.
Today, the university is a national powerhouse in research and academics.
As we embrace our roots and commitment to service as a land-grant institution.
33 presidents have presided over the dramatic growth of our university.
Today, we are thrilled and honored
that Darrell Pines has been inaugurated
as the 34th President of the University of Maryland.
President Pines is just the experienced, visionary, and skilled leader
that will accelerate the tremendous upward trajectory
of our beloved institution. He will build on 160 years of progress
by thousands of students, faculty, staff, and supporters.
His twin objectives of building excellence throughout the academic enterprise,
creating a fully inclusive and multicultural community,
will forge a proud new chapter
in the story
of the University
of Maryland.
And so, to President Pines,
we are proud to say,
welcome and Godspeed.
And Godspeed.
And on a personal note, this day is very special to me because President Pines was the only person I knew at the University of Maryland when I arrived as president in 1998.
On behalf of the University Senate and the faculty of the University of Maryland, it is my pleasure to congratulate President Darrell Pines on his inauguration. President Pines remarkably combines the characteristics of deep technical capability with entrepreneurship, management skills, and empathy. His research and entrepreneurial perspective have encompassed visionary programs like the Clementine spacecraft, which mapped the moon, and XNAV, which he created as a program director at DARPA to exploit astronomical pulsars in a navigation system independent of GPS. Returning to the University of Maryland, he both continued teaching and research and demonstrated his management skills as first a department chairman and then dean of engineering. In the past year, he has tackled entering the presidency in the time of COVID with skill, vision, and empathy. We are delighted to have him as our new president.
Dear President Pines, please accept my warmest congratulations on being selected as the 34th President of the University of Maryland. As one of many staff of our institution, I also would like to welcome your wife Sylvia and your children Kalala and Donovan to our vibrant and creative community. It may be too ambitious to speak on behalf of every staff member, but since you embarked on your new role, many of us have already noticed your core leadership values shining through your decision-making process during these unprecedented times. Thank you for the great work you have already done by caring for our health and safety, standing for inclusion and multiculturalism, and ensuring that our institutional mission continues to be achieved with equity, integrity, and excellence. Your vision, priorities, and goals are very clear, and we look forward to working with you to make this institution the best place to live, learn, and work. Congratulations again, and our best wishes on your new leadership role at the highest office of our organization. Felicidades, felicitación, concini, and congratulations.
My name is Dan Alpert, and I'm the student body president. On behalf of the 30,000 undergraduate students, congratulations, President Pines, on your inauguration. We've been so thankful for the changes you have brought and leadership you have shown as we've worked together over the past several months. We're excited to continue that relationship and create great change as we bring our university into new heights in the years ahead. Once again, congratulations.
Hi, President Pines. My name is Jackie. I am the co-president of the Asian American Student Union, and on behalf of myself and the rest of my executive board, we'd love to wish you and congratulate you on your inauguration as UMD's president. We're so glad to have you on board and are looking forward to working with you in the future on making this campus a more inclusive, more diverse space. And again, we welcome you and congratulate you.
From the leaders of the Residence Hall Association, congratulations, President Pines, and we look forward to continued partnership with you.
I'd like to send a big congratulations to President Pines on his inauguration as the chair of the Student Facilities Fund on behalf of my entire committee. Congratulations, President Pines! So excited for you!
I'm Lorenzo. I'm an animal science major. Congratulations to President Pines on his inauguration.
It's been awesome working with President Pines to achieve carbon neutrality across the university.
Hi, I'm AJ. I'm one of the captains of UMD Moksha, UMD's competitive Indian classical dance team, and I just wanted to say congratulations.
From all of the student leaders who are members of the Sigma Circle of ODK, I want to congratulate you, President Pines, on your new role on campus and wish you great success in the many years to come.
Congratulations, President Pines. Thank you for all you've done for the University of Maryland and the engineering school in particular. As a bioengineering major myself, it warms my heart to see you representing the entire UMD community. On behalf of the members in our Pan-Hellenic Association, I wish you all the best in your journey.
Great to see all the well-wishers. Thank you. The University of Maryland is a proud member of the University System of Maryland and the Big Ten Conference. Presidents from across the state and across the country recorded special video messages to congratulate President Pines.
On behalf of our students, faculty, staff, and alumni of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, I congratulate the University of Maryland College Park for officially inaugurating Dr. Darrell Pines as your new president.
Greetings. I am Anthony Jenkins, and on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of Coppin State University, I congratulate the University of Maryland for officially inaugurating Darrell Pines as your new president. President Pines and I started our USM presidential journeys around the same time, so I have a strong sense of fellowship with him. And I am delighted to send my best wishes for a successful tenure. It is said that the beginning is the most important part of the work. And from what I have seen already, the University of Maryland is in very capable and good hands. From Coppin State University, congratulations, President Pines. Stay safe and be well.
On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of Frostburg State University, I congratulate the University of Maryland College Park for officially inaugurating Darrell Pines as your new president. Congratulations, President Pines.
Congratulations to the University of Maryland and President Darrell Pines on the occasion of your inauguration. Best wishes from Salisbury University students, faculty, staff, and of course, Sammy the Seagull.
On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of Towson University, I congratulate the University of Maryland for officially inaugurating Darrell Pines as your new president. Congratulations, President Pines.
On behalf of the students and faculty and staff and alumni of UMBC, I am delighted to congratulate the University of Maryland on selecting the amazing Darrell Pines as your new president.
On behalf of our University of Maryland Global Campus community, it is my pleasure and honor to congratulate Dr. Darrell Pines upon his inauguration as president of University of Maryland.
On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the University of Baltimore, I congratulate the University of Maryland for officially inaugurating Darrell Pines as your new president. Congratulations, President Pines.
Chancellor Robert Jones here, and on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, congratulations to the University of Maryland on the inauguration of Darrell Pines as your new president.
On behalf of the Spartans of Michigan State University, our faculty, staff, and students, it's my pleasure to congratulate the University of Maryland on the inauguration of Darrell Pines as your new president.
On behalf of your friends and colleagues at the University of Minnesota, we wish President Pines every success and extend our warmest congratulations. Congratulations, President Pines.
On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I congratulate the University of Maryland for officially inaugurating Darrell Pines as your new president.
On behalf of Buckeye Nation, congratulations to everyone at the University of Maryland for officially inaugurating Dr. Pines as your new president.
From the entire Purdue family, where we have a very special affection for aerospace engineering, congratulations to the University of Maryland on selecting Darrell Pines as your next president.
On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of Rutgers University, I congratulate the University of Maryland for officially inaugurating my friend, Darrell Pines, as your new president.
On behalf of the University of Wisconsin in Madison, I am delighted to congratulate President Darrell Pines on his inauguration and the University of Maryland on their excellent choice. Darrell's record of past accomplishments demonstrates his passion for education, innovation, and building a great public university. Congratulations, President Pines.
On behalf of the faculty, staff, students, and alumni of the University of Michigan, I congratulate the University of Maryland for officially inaugurating Darrell Pines as your new president. Congratulations, President Pines.
As we witnessed during the most recent presidential inauguration, the words of a poet are sometimes just what we all need to hear. Reading her original poem, Together Again Soon, here's junior English language and literature major Ileana Lozano.
I'd like to give my thanks to President and Mrs. Pines for inviting me to speak here today. I'm so honored to be reading my poetry for our Maryland community. I want to dedicate this poem to my grandmother, Matilde Mejia, who made the courageous journey from El Salvador to the United States when she was widowed. She is now a College Park area native and celebrated her 84th birthday this past Sunday. The courses I've taken here at Maryland in poetry, literature, and history helped me get in touch with our story. It wasn't always easy growing up here. In 2013, I created my blog, Heart to Star, where I share my thoughts, poetry, and artwork. As a member of the 4th cohort of Ladies First founders, I've been empowered to turn this Twitter account a 12-year-old made into a place that connects with our youth who are facing the challenges of growing up and configuring self-expression. 12-year-old me never would have thought that she could create a poetry-based startup, or that she would be reciting her poetry at one of the most historical events of the university's history. But as soon as I accepted Maryland as my second home, things really began to happen. I've met some incredible people here who I have missed so much in these days of isolation. As my poem is appropriately titled, I hope we get to be together again soon. Now on we go. I long to see the faces and bear witness to the journeys that make, that build our friends, our Terrapin community. I long to cheer with them again, to hear stories and meet friends I never knew, and to be guided by their light of resilience and grace that especially shaped this past year. And I can't wait to join all our friends in picking up the torch together in the name of love and unity. In a new world where we must continue to embrace all our neighbors of another color, another face, another team, another faith, another vote, another place. Together, our differences make up our Terrapin space that we will return to, where we will see one another, laugh with one another, work with one another, grow with one another, and learn from one another, together again soon. Thank you so much, and congratulations, President Pines.
And thanks to Ileana for that beautiful poem. President Pines is a fierce and proud family man, proud of his wife Sylvia, his children Kalela and Donovan, who are so impressive in their own right, and his entire extended family, many of whom are here with us today. Welcome. So when it came time to choose who should introduce him during this investiture ceremony, he turned to a member of his family. She is currently pursuing her doctorate in physical therapy, makes her entire family so proud, and joins us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Kalela Pines.
Good morning. My name is Kalela Pines, and Darrell Pines is my father. Different people know my dad in different ways. Many of you know him as an accomplished, distinguished professor and aerospace engineer. I know him as an incredible father and loving husband. I remember one night my dad called the whole family to the dinner table because he wanted our input on whether he should take the job as the dean of the A. James Clark School of Engineering. I was confused and asked, "Isn't this what you've been working so hard for?" And he said, "Yes, you're right, but that means I'm not going to be here all the time. I'm not going to be able to make it to all of your volleyball tournaments and all of Donovan's soccer games." My brother and I looked at each other with smirks on our faces. If you knew my father, this was such a typical response. My dad always puts his family first, whether it's staying up late to help us finish our homework or passing the ball outside with us because he knew we were stressed about tryouts. He always pushed us to be the best version of ourselves and never gave up on us. And that night, we weren't going to give up on him. We knew that this job opportunity was his passion and what he has been working towards his entire University of Maryland career. Taking this position would allow him to spread his love for engineering to many more students and faculty, and hopefully catapult his career. And luckily, we were right. I know my father will be a great president of the University of Maryland College Park. As I mentioned, my dad has always been there for my brother and I every day, regardless of the circumstance. And I know he will step into this role and lead this institution of more than 40,000 students and 10,000 faculty members with the same mentality. Since he has stepped into this role, he has embodied one of his favorite quotes by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "The ultimate measure of a man is not where one stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where one stands in times of challenge and controversy." Leading a university is challenging when times are good, but nobody could have imagined that he would have stepped into this position in the middle of a pandemic and economic crisis with nationwide protests surrounding social injustice. But what better way to make an impact? My father strives against adversity and pushes for excellence. He has instilled that into his children and has made it his mission to instill that into this institution. He has been handed the opportunity to build a more inclusive, multicultural community and have authentic conversations about racism and move to a better place where we all respect one another. And I can't wait to watch him do it. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage the Chair of the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, Ms. Linda Gooden, and the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, Dr. Jay Perman. And now, please join me in welcoming my father, my friend, my idol, and the President of the University of Maryland College Park, Daryl Pines.
Proud of you. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kalea. I know this must be a very proud day for you and your family. As chair of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents, I'm honored to be here today as we celebrate this joyous occasion. I'm delighted to bring greetings from my fellow regents and from the University System family as we formally install Daryl J. Pines as the 34th president of the University of Maryland. As the system's flagship campus, the University of Maryland is a special place. It's a force for education, discovery, and service, and nationally recognized excellence. It's truly the best of public higher education. During my years on the Board of Regents, I've seen this institution grow in its footprint, its programs, its reputation. I know President Pines will build on the university's strengths and on the legacy of his predecessors. His entire career has been marked by achievement, by an unfaltering commitment to excellence and inclusion. And while Dr. Pines' time as president has been brief, he's already confronted extraordinary challenges, showing the vision and leadership that will characterize his tenure. I'm so proud to support President Pines in his efforts. And now it's my pleasure to begin the official investiture ceremony by the power vested in the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland. It's my privilege to install you as the President of the University of Maryland with all of the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining to the Chief Executive. Dr. Pines, as a symbol of your office, Chancellor Perman will present you with a medallion imprinted with the seal of the university. Chancellor Perman, I now ask that you give the charge to President Pine.
Thank you, Linda, and congratulations, President Pines. I hereby charge you, Darrell J. Pines, to hold this institution in the highest regard, to strengthen its programs, especially those vital to Maryland and to the nation, and to advocate for the students who have placed their faith and trust in the university and in you. I charge you to value the contributions of your students, faculty, staff, alumni, and every member of the University of Maryland family, recognizing that this institution's future is dependent upon the voices, the vision, and the passion of its people. I charge you to work for access, equity, and fairness in everything you do, so that this great university is open to all and benefits all and cultivates equally the enormous talent that resides here. I charge you to honor the University of Maryland's long history, its storied traditions, and its unique place within our university system. At the same time, I charge you to grow the institution's prominence, expand its reach, amplify its impact. I charge you to reach deep into the community around you, serving the needs of your neighbors, advancing health, wealth, and well-being, and committing yourself and this institution to strengthening the bond you share with the citizens of this state. None of this will be easy. You will have successes and setbacks, but through it all, you will persevere. And through it all, the University System of Maryland will work as your partner and your ally. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to present to you Dr. Darrell J. Pines, President of the University of Maryland.
Just trying to soak it all in. It's just amazing. Good morning, distinguished guests, members of the Board of Regents, Chair Gooden, Chancellor Perman, members of the Board of Trustees, fellow USM presidents and chancellors, and fellow presidents and chancellors, faculty, staff, students, and alumni of the great University of Maryland. Reverend Turner, family, friends and colleagues, thank you for joining me today. As I reflect upon my own journey to the president of the flagship campus of the state of Maryland, I realize that I would not be here if it were not for the loving support of my family and many, many, many other people. My father, Claude Pines, who was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, and who was still extremely sharp at the age of 81 years of age, is watching this ceremony from his home in Silverdale, Washington, because he couldn't travel today. He used to say to his children, and I quote, "You can have all the book knowledge in the world, but without common sense, you will not advance far in the real world." These words of wisdom still hold true today and have always served me well in my decision-making as a leader. Dad, so grateful. Thank you for the wisdom that you have bestowed on me and my brother and my sister. I am also grateful to my identical twin brother and my sister Denise and my identical twin brother Derek, who are both here in the audience. Like most siblings, we share a unique bond that comes from shared values of hard work, perseverance, high expectations, and a strong belief in God. My competitive nature comes from my interactions with my brother. It's hard to even explain this to you all unless you have an identical twin brother. Our parents dressed us the same up until the 8th grade, every day of our bloody life. My brother would get a score of 97, and then I would show him 98. And this was the nature of our relationship, from academics to the arts to sports. Every day was a competition. This is where my competitive nature came from. Those formative years always brought out the best and at times, unfortunately, the worst in both of us. My sister Denise was the calming force, however, and was always the reflective, deep thinker, who would always drop these reflective questions to both of us and say, "Hey, have you thought about that?" We would ask her questions like, "Hey, Denise," she's always 1 year older, why is the sky blue?" And she wouldn't really know the answer at the instant, but then she would go find something and say, read this physics book. And this is how she's treated us our entire life. And even today, my sister constantly sends me emails about information either related to engineering or related to higher education. She chairs the California Medical Board. And Chancellor Perman, you think I was getting information from you on 117 variant? I was getting it from my sister, because she chairs the medical board, and she was telling me, this is going to come. It's going to come to Maryland. It's going to come to the whole United States. Let me tell you, check it out. Tell everybody at the USM. So I got my reflective information from my lovely, dear sister, who I am deeply grateful to have. I am deeply grateful that God has blessed me with an incredible life partner in my wonderful wife, Sylvia, who is an accomplished former public health administrator and an entrepreneur of her own right. She has endured 28 years of listening to my crazy ideas and supporting my dreams, and many of which never panned out, by the way. But of course, we never remember those ideas. We only remember the ones that panned out. She has been a great advisor, a collaborator on so many important issues. Sylvia, I love you dearly. Thank you for all that you've done and your support of me. Sylvia and I are deeply proud of our two children, Kalela, who you just heard, who will complete her doctorate in physical therapy from Emory University in May, and Donovan, who everyone knows, but they don't know how smart Donovan is. He speaks fluent Mandarin, is completing the work towards his undergraduate degree, and is also a professional soccer player. I'm often called around the University of Maryland and outside the University of Maryland simply as Donovan's dad, not as the president of the University of Maryland, Donovan's dad. When I went to a wedding in Houston of my good friend who's here, Dr. Satcher and his wife, Abina. I'm at their ceremony. I don't know anybody in this place but a few people, and this person walks up to me, "Hey, are you connected to the guy who plays soccer for DC United?" I said, "Where is this coming from?" And this is the nature of my life with my son. But I'm proud of my son and my daughter because they have adopted the Pines family values of hard work, perseverance, and a high expectation for education. I also want to acknowledge two extremely special individuals who have at times served as surrogate parents to me. And they are my wife's parents, Mr. Sylvester and Frances Maddie Haney. They have raised 4 children and are now blessed with 9 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. 6 of those 9 grandchildren have pursued education in higher education, in college. And the other 3, it's expected that they will also do that. These 2 individuals epitomize what it means to be a loving family, a loving black family. And they took me under their wings as an adopted son. And for that, I love them dearly, and I thank them for their support of my career as well over the years in our family. Finally, I owe a great deal of my own success to my dear late mother, Maureen Foster Pines, who left this earth 23 years ago, too soon. My mother was the youngest of 14 children and was a great inspiration in my life and in my siblings' life. She married my father, a U.S. Air Force enlisted man, and immigrated to the United States from Liverpool, England. My mother only had a 10th grade education, but she believed in the value of hard work and that in America, education, above all other things, is the great equalizer. I will never forget my mother, who stood no more than 5 feet, actually probably about 4'10", going to the Berkeley Unified School District Board when we were in the 8th and 9th grade. And my mother, with a 10th grade education, fought for the opportunity for my brother and I to attend the best high school in our area, which was Berkeley High School at the time. My mother may have been very small in stature, but was a force to be reckoned with. She worked 2 blue-collar jobs so that she and my father could pay for my sister to attend Holy Name's a private Catholic high school in Oakland, California. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her and how proud she would be to witness this moment, to see what her children have accomplished based on her foundational values that she offered to us. The 3 little black kids who grew up in a 2-bedroom home in East Oakland, California, are now a vice president of transportation at Parsons, a publicist, author, and serial entrepreneur, and yes, even a university president. I know that my mother is here with us in spirit today and serves as the foundation for all that we do. Thank you. Over the years, I've been very fortunate to receive advice and tutelage from so many incredible people. And I just want to mention a few of their names. They deserve to be mentioned at this ceremony. And my brother will remember this person. Mr. Ed Lee, Berkeley High School Mesa director, who taught us math after school. Dr. Antoinette Torres and Mr. Charles Tunstall, who ran the UC Berkeley Minority Engineering Program and made it possible for so many folks from underrepresented backgrounds like myself to attend UC Berkeley and make it through. And the incomparable Dr. Clayton Dan Moat. What can I say about Dr. Moat? I came to Dr. Moat as an 18-year-old freshman in mechanical engineering at UC Berkeley, and this man took me under his wing and taught me about what was possible. He made sure that I did my courses really well and I was academically sharp, but he exposed me to research, and I got to go into his lab, and I got to meet some of his graduate students, and I found out what research was really all about. This was as a sophomore at UC Berkeley, and these colleagues that I met in his lab are my fellow colleagues today, thanks to Dan Moat. And yes, he was the first person that he knew when he came to the University of Maryland, and it was really I'll tell you a funny story. We were in engineering. I was an assistant professor, no tenure. Dan Moat comes into a reception held for him. He comes all the way over to me, passes the dean, the chairs, and comes to the lowliest person on the planet, me, assistant professor in the back of the room, and says, "Hey, Daryl, what kind of school is this? What kind of college of engineering?" I said, "Dan, I want to get tenure. Can you please go talk to the dean and the chair? Don't come over talking to me." And he said, "Well, you're the only person I know at this university." I said, "Yeah, that's cool, but I want to get tenure." And so that was actually Dan's first trip over to engineering. And Dan, I'm sure you'll remember that. Also a very important person to me, Dr. Howard G. Adams, who was the GEM inaugural director. And if you don't know what GEM is, GEM was a fellowship program for underrepresented minorities to go to graduate school. And I got a fellowship from GEM to go to MIT and pursue my master's degree. Dr. Percy Pierre, who's in the audience today, is an incredible person. He was one of the initiators and co-founders of so many programs to help underrepresented minorities attend engineering throughout the United States. Dr. John B. Turner, Dean of the Graduate School at MIT, who literally called me, because we didn't have the internet back then, if my fellow colleagues from MIT will remember, and he said, "Hey, you haven't finished your application." I wouldn't even been at MIT if Dr. Turner didn't call me and said, "You got some references that are outstanding," and I finally got them in. Dr. Ike Colbert, Dean of the Graduate School, also at MIT, and Ms. Margot Tyler, who were literally like a family to all of us graduate students in the graduate school. Dr. Clarence Williams, who worked as a special assistant to the president at that time, Paul Gray of MIT, who became literally a friend, a colleague, and a mentor to all of us. My own doctoral advisor, Professor Andreas von Floto, and his wife, Lucia Alviano von Floto. Professor von Floto was the first person to get me to think out of the box, to think that you could do something really big in research. My fellow graduate students at MIT in Aero and Astro and Mechanical, Dr. John Langford, Dr. Siegfried Zerwick, Dr. David Voss, Dr. Matthew Mercadal, and Dr. Norman Worley. I held Dr. Norman Worley for the end because Dr. Worley is the reason why I'm at the University of Maryland. Dr. Worley called me up in 1995 and said, "There's a job available. Do you want it?" And I interviewed, and if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be president today. And to my fellow Black graduate students, they are here with me today, Dr. Vincent McNeil, Dr. James D. Oliver, Dr. Carol Epsey Wilson, Dr. Robert Satcher, Dr. Robert Dodd, Dr. Stephen, and his wife Jillian Isabel. The bonds that we forged are forever, and I'm deeply grateful for our relationship, for all this time, our friendship, our fellowship, and thank you for the support and advice that you've given me all of these years since those days at MIT. Of course, I could go on and on about so many people that have helped me get to this point in my career. All the people here at University of Maryland, there are too many names to mention, and I'm really grateful to all of them, but I would like to recognize the cabinet. They're all here today, the president's cabinet, all the vice presidents are here, and I also would like to recognize all of the deans. Thank you for your support. And I'd like to also thank all of my friends from UC Berkeley who have made it possible for me to be here as the 34th president of the University of Maryland. So thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with me for those congratulatory remarks to my friends and my family. And so, my fellow Terrapins, I stand here today truly humbled by my selection by the Board of Regents to lead this great institution, grateful for the trust you and they have bestowed upon me, and mindful of the sacrifices borne by those who carried this torch before me. I want to take this opportunity to thank Presidents Slaughter, Kerwin, Moat, and Lowe for their service to this great institution and state. Presidents Kerwin and Moat are here this morning, and I want to thank you both for the generosity and cooperation that you have shown me and my administration throughout this uncertain time period. "33 leaders have served in this position before me. They have provided leadership during this rising tides of prosperity and through the dark times of uncertainty. Yet every so often, this oath is taken amidst a gathering clouds and raging storms. In these fraught moments, The university carried on not simply because of the skill or vision of its previous leaders, but because the people we serve have remained faithful to the land-grant mission of our flagship institution and to the ideals of our founders. So it has been, and so it must be with this generation of Terrapins. I must remind you that what the University of Maryland does matters, and how we do it matters. When we are at our best, we impact the lives of people and society. Our size, breadth, geography, history, standard of excellence position us to drive the future. We must serve the public good on behalf of all humanity. We must do good everywhere on this planet, because I know of no higher calling for a university and for us as human beings. The world is experiencing a time of remarkable disruption. We're in the midst of two pandemics. The COVID-19 and the long-standing racial injustice in our country. The recent trial following the senseless death of George Floyd is a stark reminder that our world is still plagued by the long festering wounds of racial injustice, highlighted by the Black Lives Matter movement. It is also a reminder of how inequality remains a pervasive threat to the lives and liberties of millions of people in this country and around the world. There are other grand challenges as well. Climate change continues to be the defining issue of our time. The Me Too movement highlighted the issues of sexual harassment and sexual abuse. These and other challenges are reorienting societal norms for the long term and reshaping our future. They are having an unprecedented effect on the health, well-being, and economic life of humankind, and these effects will be long-lasting. The world's interconnectivity, humanity's shared vulnerabilities, and social inequalities are evident now more than ever. It affects every aspect of life, from relationships and partnerships to markets and consumers to education and space. Consider that just recently, a giant cargo ship was stuck for 6 days in the Suez Canal. What did it reveal? How vulnerable and fragile our global supply chain is to the global economy. It was yet another stark reminder of just how connected we truly are. Hence, we must embrace globalization and envision how the university will maximize its value in education, research, service, talent, and expanding opportunities. We must prepare our students for this future, because what was normal will no longer be the same. These are daunting times, and we face seemingly insurmountable challenges. But we are also presented with an opportunity, one we must seize. We must move this university forward within the new environment, recognizing that we too must continue to change and evolve. To emerge as an even more engaged, vibrant, and impactful university, to help forge a different and brighter future, the University of Maryland must play a transformative role in tackling the issues facing our global community and work to improve health and well-being of people in the state of Maryland and the world. There are several important questions for us to consider. Number one, what do we want the world to be? What do we want the world to be? Number two, how can we work together to create a future that is livable, sustainable, and more just and equitable? Number three, how will scholarship, research, and education contribute in the 21st century society? And number four, and how can we become more resilient to unforeseen events? Uncertain times require us to be bold. This is our time to reinvent our university. This is the time to examine the future of learning, to enhance the student experience. the future of work for faculty and staff to reach a new level of excellence, and a new model of research to accelerate and advance science and human understanding. This is the time to examine how we can relentlessly pursue innovative solutions to the grand challenges of our time: climate change, infectious diseases, social and economic inequality, health disparities, poverty, racism, sustainability, and social injustice, all the while being prepared for the unexpected. We will embark on our journey to reimagine our university together as we begin our strategic planning focused around inclusive excellence. This is a time to vigorously promote research and scholarship and to enhance the student experience and work environment and enhance the student and work environment in significant ways. Our strategic planning process will center on 6 pillars: academic excellence, student experience, access and student services, discovery, creativity, and innovation, external relations and partnerships, operations and resource stewardship. I look forward to engaging with the entire campus community to reimagine our campus and community as a modern flagship research university in the 3rd decade of the 21st century. Thus, in this spirit of reimagining and reinventing our university, today we take the next step to moving Maryland forward. Today, I am taking the liberty to announce 5 bold initiatives that reflect our mission, values, traditions, and culture, and reinforce my 2 priorities that I announced on my first day as president. Number 1, to be excellent in all that we do. And number 2, to create a more inclusive, multicultural community for all. First, it is fitting that today's Investiture ceremony is convened on the 51st annual Earth Day, and on the day that the Paris Agreement was opened for signature in 2016, 5 years ago. This day reminds us that our global fight against the climate crisis is far from over. Thus, we must continue our academic leadership in research, education, and service relative to the climate science, sustainability, and environmental stewardship of our natural resources. Today, I challenge our faculty to become leaders in developing solutions to one of the grand challenges of our time. We all must become climate ambassadors. And so today, I'm announcing that the University of Maryland will accelerate its climate action plan goal to become a net carbon neutral campus within the next 4 years on Earth Day in 2025. Through a combination of sustainability measures and the strategic purchase of carbon credits, the University of Maryland College Park will reach this goal by Earth Day in 2025. In addition, I am also proud to announce plans to replace our entire university-owned fleet of over 1,000 fossil-fueled vehicles with an all-electric fleet by 2035. It is my hope that these measures will help inspire every one of us to commit to the reduction of global greenhouse gas emissions for our planet and for our people. Thank you. From my very first day as president, I have stressed the interconnectedness of excellence and a diverse community. A diverse and equitable multicultural community will drive us to our goal of inclusive excellence in everything that we do. To me, it's a simple math equation, Chancellor Perman and Dr. Kerwin. Diversity plus excellence equals success and innovation. Diversity plus excellence equals success and innovation. It's that simple. With that goal in mind, we must continue to diversify our faculty. We want our student body to be taught by the highest quality faculty who reflect our values and advance our journey of inclusive excellence. Thus, today, I'm proud to announce an investment of $40 million into a new initiative to recruit and retain tenure and tenure-track faculty from underrepresented backgrounds to our campus. I have named the program the Family Initiative, which stands for Faculty Advancement at Maryland for Inclusive Learning and Excellence. If we are successful, the Family Initiative will attract over 100 tenure and tenure-track faculty to our institution and ensure that our students will interact and learn from scholars that not only look like them, but reflect our values and ensure our success for decades into the future. Thank you. In a few months, we will open a new facility at Cold Fieldhouse, a project that transformed a beloved basketball arena into a first-of-its-kind facility that will ultimately bring together research, science, athletics, and entrepreneurship, all under one roof. A signature part of this new facility is a football performance center. But this new addition will do more than enhance the performance of the next generation of student athletes. It will speak to our commitment to our history, social justice, and providing opportunity for all. Today, I am proud to announce that with the approval from the Board of Regents, we have been given permission to name the Football Performance Center in honor of two legendary and pioneering figures who officially broke the color barrier in the Atlantic Coast Conference in the sports of basketball and football. Mr. Billy Jones was the first African American to play basketball in the ACC, debuting as the University of Maryland in 1965, where he played in historic Cold Fieldhouse. And Mr. Darrell Hill was the first African American to play football in the ACC, starting with a truly historic season here at Maryland in 1963. The determination, courage, and strength of these two individuals helped pave the way for thousands of Black student athletes today, but they also helped break the chains of segregation and discrimination for every one of us. Jones Hill House will not only cement the legacy of these two trailblazers, but will serve as an inspiration to our entire university community. Honored guests, I am so thrilled to have Mr. Billy Jones and Mr. Darrell Hill here with us today. Please join me in celebrating these two amazing trailblazers. What an honor for me, and what an honor for them. Let's give them another round of applause, please. Jones Hill House will also feature a new area we are calling Game Changers Row. Here, we will recognize other pioneers and groundbreakers, including incredible women whose contributions to their sport and our community epitomizes the rich and storied history of diversity, equity, and inclusion in Maryland athletics. There is one more individual I must acknowledge. The entire Cold Fieldhouse project would not have even been possible without the support of donors from our university. Notably, this particular donor, his generous leadership gift from Kevin Plank, the founder and executive chairman of Under Armour. Mr. Plank's support of this project made this historic honorific naming possible. In fact, it was his idea. Mr. Plank called me up in February during Black History Month, and as you know, Mr. Plank is very impatient, has a lot of passion, and wanted it to be done in the month of February. But as Chancellor Perman tells me, the Board of Regents has a process. And so we were not able to do it that quickly, but we were able to do it by the investiture ceremony. But more importantly, it was his idea to forego his own opportunity to put his own name on this facility, even though he was the lead donor. He wanted to do something special. He wanted to honor these two trailblazers. That kind of visionary leadership and selflessness demonstrates Mr. Plank's deep commitment, not just his alma mater, but to social justice as well. Mr. Plank is also here with us today, so please join me in thanking and recognizing him for his incredible gesture, Mr. Kevin Plank, a great Terp. We must protect this house. I had to say that. I'm sorry. I just had to say it. I just had to do it. It's not every day that you get to say that and get a feedback from Kevin. Thank you, Mr. Plank, for all that you do for the University of Maryland. The University of Maryland is one of the top research institutions in the world. To maintain our premier leadership in discovery, research, and in translating ideas from the benchtop or bedside to market, we must commit to a continual investment in a rich research ecosystem. So today, I am also announcing a plan to invest over $200 million to strengthen our research, expand activities in innovation and entrepreneurship, and boost our economic development ecosystem in the University of Maryland's Discovery District. This investment will be made to target fields such as K-12 education, public health, bioscience, neuroscience, climate science, data science, artificial intelligence and machine learning, computing and technology, and of course, quantum science. Just last month, IonQ announced its intention to go public as the first pure-play quantum computing company. This company was born here on our campus out of research conducted in the Joint Quantum Institute, and now IonQ has a headquartered office in our Discovery District in College Park in Prince George's County. Just last night, we launched a quantum startup foundry to help catalyze the next quantum breakthrough. It will bring together resources and support needed for startups to advance global innovations in quantum. Through the recently established Discovery Fund, the university has pledged an initial investment of $25 million over 10 years to support new businesses with technologies and recruit entrepreneurial faculty. This is to be combined with a $10 million capital investment in quantum facilities for a total commitment of $35 million for building the quantum startup ecosystem right here in College Park. It is our belief that this investment into our research enterprise will spark innovation, breakthroughs, and discoveries. We will use this moment to expand and enhance our Discovery District to a world-class environment to foster and nurture a culture of discovery, innovation, entrepreneurship that will be second to none, not just in our region, but in the nation. With this investment and the strategic investments made by the Governor, General Assembly, and past University of Maryland leaders into our research enterprise, we have the opportunity to build on our strengths and become, yes, become, the capital of quantum. Now, earlier this week, we hosted an event called The Art of Humanizing the Grand Challenges. This event, produced by the College of Arts and Humanities, reminded us that grand challenges like climate change, racism, citizenship, and voting rights affect real people in very personal ways. And the arts and humanities at Maryland offer people-centered solutions. We also hosted an event celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. David C. Driscoll, one of the great Black artists of our time. Amidst the global pandemic that we are experiencing, COVID-19 and racial injustice, our interconnectedness has emerged. But something else has emerged as well: a deep and powerful innate drive to create and consume art. In Italy, during the COVID lockdown, people took to their balconies to sing a traditional folk song. In a time of crisis, social isolation, distress, and death, people felt compelled to sing, to express rage and joy together through a creative act. Right here in the United States, murals and paintings of George Floyd emerged as an iconic symbol of Black Lives Matter protests across the country as a visual call to action, accountability, and racial injustice. Even in the most improbable times, the arts, it seems, must be accessible for all. So today, it is with great excitement and privilege that I announce the launch of the Art for All initiative. This initiative seeks to ensure that the arts are woven into every fabric of our life at the University of Maryland, so the Terrapin identity is writ large and forward strong. Arts for All will support innovation and partnerships to foster creative and scholarly excellence among campus arts practitioners and scholars, and engage all parts of the campus and local communities in collaborative creative practice. We will build on existing excellence by launching an expanded arts festival in partnership with the City of College Park, hiring new faculty to extend curricular research and programming that brings together art, technology, and social justice. This program represents a bold vision for the arts at the University of Maryland. Innovative, fully inclusive, participatory, accessible, and impactful. In a time of great divide, I believe Arts for All can help us forge deeper connections with one another, to usher in a new era of mutual respect and understanding. And I think we can all agree that it's something that we all desperately need right now, is better understanding. Thank you. So it's in this moment in time, these 5 bold actions will help validate who we are, what we stand for, and where we are headed. We are a land-grant public research university that serves the public good for all of humanity. In order to fulfill our mission, we must ensure that our university remains open to all explorers who seek entry and are open to learning. Thus, we must continue to embrace what I call the 5 A's of student success: access, affordability, academic success and achievement, attainment, and finally, attitude and culture. To date, we have taken a number of policy measures to address these 5 A's, including joining the Common Application System, becoming test optional for the next 2 years, growing our level of need-based aid for all students, expanding our diversity and cultural competency curriculum, and improving the retention and graduation rates for all students. Finally, to improve our campus culture, we launched the Terrapin Strong onboarding program to educate faculty, staff, and students about our values, traditions, and culture. This program will help ensure that every student can reach their full potential. This is all critically important because I remind you, what the university does matters. What the university does matters, and how we do it matters. Remember, inclusive excellence is only possible when we have a truly inclusive multicultural campus, where different perspectives are embraced and shared freely. It is time to take risks and dream big. This reminds me of the quote from Robert Kennedy: "Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly." Terrapins, working together is the only way to move Maryland forward. When we work together, we are stronger. When we challenge ourselves to be our best, we make a difference. And when we take on risks, we fulfill our promise of greatness. We are Terrapins, and together we are Terrapin strong. Thank you so much. God bless all of you, and go Terps! Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Dr. Pines. Honored guests, faculty, staff, students, and alumni watching from around the world, thank you for joining us here today. It was an honor for me to serve as your host for this very special event. Just wonderful to be here. I know all of you join me in congratulating Dr. Pines once again, President Pines, on this historic occasion. I have one more. And I can't think of a more fitting way than to proudly proclaim Fear the Turtle, Go Terps. We will close today's program with a musical performance by Billboard charting international recording artist and proud Terp. So much talent comes out of the school. I mean, so many good things. It's wonderful to see. Chelsey Green is going to come on and join us for this very special celebration. Please welcome Chelsey Green and the Green Project.